Hey, I'm going to move you guys into showtime and just everybody mute your mics, please.
Copy, yes, Dave. Great to have you back.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Dun, 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 dun. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Bum, 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 bum. What's up, party people in the house?
What up, though?
Welcome to Texas Live, one of the sexiest voices in the SFL.
Mr. Master.
Dave Axis. What's up, party people of the SFL? Can everybody hear me okay? We are not going to have cameras tonight, but it's going to be all talking for this evening, but hopefully you can hear me. So what's up, party people of the SFL? Can you guys hear me? What's up? Sounds good. Thank you, Relax Pats. We'll get to the party people in the chat in a minute. I got to tell you, this is feeling a little awkward. It's been 5.5 weeks. July 1st was my last show, and getting back in the saddle a little bit. We'll talk about some future plans here coming up pretty soon. But first of all, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to episode 104. I know it's been a big gap between 103 and 104. It's not going to be a super long show tonight. I'm guessing maybe an hour and a half at the most, depending on how much people want to talk about the convention. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh, Becky, is that a hype train already? Oh, man. A hype train already within the first couple minutes of being back. You guys are off the chain. Holy smokes. I just want to let you guys know tonight, the main reason I wanted to do this show tonight is I wanted to thank you guys. The response that Lisa and I've had from SFL Nation over the last several weeks through with what our family is, it's just been phenomenal. It's been overwhelming in a good way, and I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. Some of the messages, I've had so many DMs of people telling me about their own struggles, family struggles. Oh, here we go. What is it? 89 Will Todd just gifted 5 tier 1 subs. We are blowing this place up right now. How crazy. People have shared with me their own struggles with cancer, their own family struggles with cancer, some things that some of our SFL peeps are going through right now. And I just want to let you know, if you are going through anything that's even remotely similar to what our family's been going through over the last month, that Lisa and I, our thoughts are with you, our prayers are with you. If you need to talk, my DMs are always open. You can reach out. We totally get it, and I cannot thank you enough for how many times people have told me that they don't feel like this season's the same without the show, how much you guys have missed the show, how much you've missed the party people and the panelists and everything. And I apologize. It's just, sometimes life gets in the way. And, hopefully we can get this back on track pretty soon. But for tonight's show is all about you guys. I wanted to say a very, very special thank you to SFL Nation for all you've done to reach out to Lisa and I during this tough time for us. I'm sorry that I missed the convention. I really wanted to be there. I was supposed to do a show there. But the mere fact that we got the news during the convention, I think, solidified for me that I made the right decision, that was just not the right time to be at the convention to get that kind of news. Holy smokes, what's going on? Tyler Falk now is blowing people up, gifting subs all over the place. I can't even keep up with this hype train. I feel it a little rusty, you guys, to be honest with you. Let's see here. Level 3 complete. I don't know what. I think level 6 is the highest. If somebody wants to remind me, I think and we've done that a couple times, I believe. But man, you guys are blowing this up. I am loving the fact that you guys are all in here. Already partying, already having a good time. I mean, you guys haven't missed a beat. I feel like I've missed a beat. You guys haven't missed a beat. Oh, and of course, here comes Gunny. You know Gunny can't be outdone. If people start giving subs, Gunny's got to be all over that. Keep his lead on everybody. So we could clearly do an Access Live convention. Uh-oh, Wink. That's a little off the chain. Level 5 complete. I just looked up. We were at level 3. Now we're level 5. What is going on, Dave Con? Yeah, everybody's got to shave their heads and wear glasses and wear ball caps and wear sleeves. How about that? There you go. Hey-o. That's the bomb, baby. Anyway, I don't want to skip over how important you guys have been to Lisa and I. And I can't thank you guys enough for all the kind words, all the kind DMs, text messages, emails, all that stuff over the last several weeks. So thank you so very much. And this show tonight is for you. It's a thank you to you. It's going to be a tribute to my my late sister-in-law, Lara. And then we want to talk about, we're also going to talk about convention stuff. I've got some people that are going to come on the show and tell us some convention stories. But before that, you know what I got to do? I got to get to my favorite part of the entire show, and that is you guys, the party people in the His House. Let me see what this is. Hype train, final level. Keep going until the clock runs out. I don't see a clock. Oh, there it is, 2:55. How do I get this thing out of the way? I can't see who was in here first. Uh-oh. Is it... Who was in here first? Anybody know? Can anybody scroll back, get that hype train thing out of the way? It looks like it was Nate Hall was first. What's up, Nate? Cuzzo33, the lovely, amazing, perfect pink Lisa in the house. Freddie, of course, is here with us. Danny J. Rock 37. Charles is with us as well. The mighty Joe Young is back. Good to see you, bro. Mel Davis is here. Let me see who else we got here. Oh, Chop. Hold on. Oh, man, this thing's blocking my view. How do I get that? That's what she said. Oh, there's something dog underneath the label. I can't read it. I think it's Colin Pierce, maybe. I don't know who that is. Let me see. I already said Londa. Mel Davis, I said already. Dwayne's in the house. Will Todd, Kendra Hall, James Klein, Mel Davis, I think I already said you. Benji Matson, Art Vandelay, Bullet Boletsky, Fear Dog, Fire Dog. Dude, I mess your stuff up. That's one thing that will never change. I'll never stop messing your name up. Look Alive 24, Relax Pats, Ray Ray's in the house. Good to see you, sweetie. Let me see. Jason France, good to see you, bro. Albert Begin, Bob Funk, Doug Britton, Tyler Falk. The Cuban Missiles in the house. Greg Soto, good to see you, bro. Gunny, of course, is here. Chris Curtis is with us. Coach Craven's in the house. Let me see. Hugo. Rizabit's with us. Who else is here? Looks like Hacker jumped in. Good to see you, Tom Rahman. Teflon Ron is back. MSG is in His House. Holy smokes, we got a lot of peeps here. How many people are in this show tonight? Let me see. Chad is here. James Klein already said. Wink is in the house. Good to see you, Wink. Good to see you, buddy. EJ Minson's with us. I think I said Charles already. Mark Chisholm's in the house. Marco Swift, good to see you, bro. Thanks for the DMs today. Eagle, good to see you, bro. Glad to see you're here. Johnny 2K's in the house. Good to see you, bro. Bryant Dynasty. Dude, I saw your hair flip at the convention. That was off the chain. Doug Britton already said. Oh, Evan Lacey, good to see you, bro. Wow, there's a lot of people here. Good to see everybody. Jay Swift is in the house. Good to see you. Twin Screws here. Man, I might spend the whole show just talking about who's in the chat. Let me see. I think that's it. Let me see. If I missed you, James Troll, good to see you, buddy. I saw you in the last thing. Hey, if I missed you, go ahead and at me in the chat, just as Mike we received a level 5 hype train emote. I got to share that bad boy. How do we do that? Let me share it. I shared it. Did it share? I don't even know. It's been so long since I did this. There we go. How about that? There you go. I think that's everybody. Listen, if I missed you, please go ahead and at me. I don't like missing people when we go through the party, people. Randy Ferguson's here, my boy in California. Good to see you, bro. I'm so happy to see everybody. Benji Matson hopping in at the last second, sneaking in. Good to see you too, bro. Glad you're here. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. It's going to be a special show. I do want to start off, though, with this one little thing right here, and that's called the SFL Convention. I've got about a 6-minute slideshow that's going to loop around while we talk to people. I've got a bunch of people already in the Showtime room, a bunch of people in the green room waiting in the Showtime. Looks like there's about a dozen of you already. If you want to come on the show, talk about the convention, tell us some stories that we're not supposed to know about, because those of us who weren't there, we want the inside scoop. Siege Falco, see you jumping in at the last second. Good to see you, bro. I would love to have you pop on. Go ahead and pop on. You can pop on into the green room, the After Dark waiting room, or Dave's super secret voice chat. Any of those will work, and I'll move you into Showtime. I think that it makes sense to kick things off with the man who set up the convention, who organized the whole thing, who runs the entire SFL, and of course that is the one and only Cameron Irvine. Cam, welcome back to the show. I bet you're completely exhausted from the driving, the trip, the convention, everything, but thank you for making time and coming on tonight. How you doing, bro?
Can you hear me, Dave?
I can hear you.
What's up, man? Good to hear your voice.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. So how exhausted are you after all of that planning and all that executing over the weekend and the driving back?
I have one monitor up, no speakers, and no microphone. I feel like the biggest loser ever. That's all that's been set back up. I'm so tired. I've slept and snacked and just nothing. Just my brain doesn't work. Yeah, it's been tough. I think like 5 million different subjects that everyone's like, "Are you going to give me an answer on this?" So yeah, I'm pretty slammed and kind of don't want to do any of it. So I'm on the show instead.
Well, there you go. Good for you. Well, I just actually have one big question for you, because I'm going to talk to other people about how things went down and tell stories. But from you, I want you to tell us, how did this convention relate to the other two conventions? Obviously, it was bigger. You probably had a lot more stuff going on, but the overall sense of camaraderie, how the games went, the entire thing, the whole package from A to Z, how do you feel this one went compared to the other two?
Well, to me, hey, Chad. For me, personally, it was the best. Easy, hands down, because logistically, things went a lot better. I think Saturday we only started 15 minutes late, and that is like basically a lifetime achievement award status. Given that in Dallas and in Atlanta, we must have started like I don't know, an hour and a half late or whatever for the live games and stuff. So um, for me, it was just as commissioner, it was easily hands down the best. Every convention is different. I know that. I mean, some of this wasn't even our fault. Logistically, for some, it was just a nightmare. The airplanes, Spirit and
Right.
American, and
Yeah.
their problems caused our attendance to not be what it could have been. They caused lots of problems. I hope Rob Ems has made it back to Syracuse because when we all left, he was still there, looking for hotels. So I mean, it it was pretty rough on some people. Just canceled flights, changed cities. Trying to get that wasn't going to price cabs, coordinating,
Oh,
how to
camera.
pick up.
Oh, there you go. We lost you for a second, but go
Sorry,
ahead.
did you? Yeah. So logistically, I know for some it kind of varied, right? Some people it was smooth, no problems. Other people they just kind of it was just kind of a pain at times. Fortunately for them, all of our events were in the same place. So once they got there, they didn't have to worry about getting other places. So every convention is different. I personally enjoyed this the most. We definitely had our biggest. It was our largest in terms of attendance, and the staff at the resort was the best and most prepared than at any other convention when it largely just kind of fell on my shoulders. So it was mostly good here this time around.
That's awesome to hear. Are you able to stick around for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Because I might need you to confirm or deny some of these stories that might be coming down range
Oh,
here
I will.
in a minute. I'm sure you will. I'm going to start with my boss here, Charles Dougherty. I know that I was supposed to be part of that Lone Star contingent. I saw some of it online and some pictures. I did get to watch about half of our game, which was super exciting, winning in overtime. Give us some of your feedback from the convention this season and maybe some of your highest points over the weekend.
Wow, where do I start? I mean, first and foremost was the first night going to Mike St. Green's house. I mean, yeah, everybody knows he's a chef, but damn, that food was outstanding. And from that was one of the. I was telling my wife that was like one of the best social engagements I've been in. In my memory. I mean, it was outstanding. It was fun. It was, everybody was, talking to one another. It wasn't just like people sitting, in corners. Everybody reached out to each other. There was a lot of camaraderie. I mean, it was outstanding. And then the, close second, maybe even, tied for first was getting to sit and watch the game with Yogi and Gunny and Evan Lacey. I mean, that was, and my wife, obviously I gotta
Oh,
say that.
yes.
That was outstanding. I mean, those two were the top, were definitely at the top, Dave.
Hey, who is this? As you guys are watching the slideshow, who was that falling on the floor pulling a Harish in the thing? I want to hear who that was because that looks like a Harish 2.0 there at the convention. Let me move on to Chad Rowland really quick. Chad, I know you and Johnny had to drive quite a bit. Both ways. I heard you guys had some pretty fun partying nights there. Give us your impressions of this convention, and was this your first convention?
Yeah, so it was my first convention. So how you doing, man? Like, good to hear your voice.
Uh,
I talked to you the other day actually, but yeah, good to hear you. Glad you're back for now. But yeah, man. I mean, this is the first convention that I was at, and it was a blast, man. I had a lot of fun. I was able to meet a ton of people. Crazy stat, I guess you could say that Adam Wiseman and myself literally only live like 20 minutes away, and it took a trip to Texas to meet each other. um,
right.
so that was cool to hang out with him. Being able to meet, Colin was somebody I was really looking forward to meeting. Finally got to meet him, which was pretty cool. And then, obviously being in a car for however many damn hours with Johnny Pickler. I survived.
That's got to be it. That's got to have its own stories on its own, bro.
There's a vlog that's going to be coming out. So
I cannot.
it's going to be interesting. We taught Mike St. Green a few things. It was a blast, man. I had a lot of fun. I mean, you had some hiccups. There might have been an asshole or two, but but the games and everything other than that were just fantastic, man. It was a lot of fun.
Anything that 98% of if everything is great, 99%, then it is it's a raging success, obviously. Let me bring in Chris Curtis here real quick. I heard somebody had a birthday this weekend, bro. How old are you, man?
So yeah, it was funny because I had a birthday about a month and 5 days ago.
Oh, jeez. Did you just try to get everybody free dessert at the restaurant or something, or what happened?
That's okay. So you guys saw the pictures that was rolling by on the slideshow. We were at Maggiano's. It's an Italian place. It seems to be Southern dominant as far as the chain goes. We had 22 people at the table. The person responsible for this was definitely Harish Prasad. I had Cam on my right. I had Mike Torillo in my vicinity, Shravan Prasad as well, and AJ was there along with Eddie Gage. There was a whole bunch on that side of the table. There was our waiter. First of all, I made fun of him because I asked him if they had Dr. Pepper or if they had Mr.
Oh, is that why I'm seeing Dr. Pibb in the chat right
Yes, exactly. So he said, no, we actually have the real thing, not the imposter. And I'm like, hey, fantastic, nicely done. So he then proceeded to give me refills and said, here's your Mr. Pibb, dropped it on my table. So, okay, fine, I could take a joke, not a problem. Made me laugh. So 3/4 of the way through the dinner, we had our food, and he brings out a slice of cheesecake. And it's a great looking strawberry cheesecake piece. It's fantastic.
I love cheesecake, bro.
Right.
Love cheesecake.
Absolutely. It's great. He gives me that and 8 spoons.
8 spoons.
8 spoons. And no more, no less.
That sounds like 7 too many for me, but go ahead.
Well, right. So it was my decision as to who I shared it with. So where I spread around the spoons and nobody wanted the last spoon. You saw me with the 2 spoons in my hand. So I'm now there's an SFL emote in the Discord that's Curtis 2 spoons or Curtis 2 scoops, I think is what it is.
Oh, 2 scoops of Curtis.
2 scoops,
I'm loving that. I'm loving that.
And I'm looking at Eddie. I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Dude, that's amazing. So, keep going.
There's definitely more. So he's the cheesecake gets eaten. And all the while, we're dying. Like, the entire side of the table is just in tears, cry laughing, ugly laughing the entire time. And Cam can confirm. And then they bring me out a birthday card that everybody in the back signed. The waiters and waitresses and the hosts and everybody at staff at Maggiano's signed and brought out to me and said something to the effect of, hey, I hope this year brings you a lot of Mr. Pibb. I was floored, and it was one of those memories, one of those meals that I will never forget. Amazing. With a lot of people that were really, really cool.
That's going down to convention history, bro. Convention history.
It's definitely a thing. Cam can confirm whether or not his father got kicked out of an Indian wedding at the same time.
I heard about that too. I'm going to ask about that. I've heard a lot of stories already, but I'm looking for some details and confirmations this evening on some stories. So, Chris, thanks, buddy. Stick around for a little bit. I might come back to you for some confirmation. Hey, real quick, just so you guys know, I think there's about 92 pictures on this loop, but it goes pretty fast. It's about somewhere like 4, 5, 6 minutes. So you're just going to see it loop around while we're talking. I see Adam Wiseman's name at the top. I'm going to go to Adam real quick. Adam, I didn't get a chance to see or hear about your game, and I checked the website. I don't think it's on there yet. Tell me how you guys did in your game, and then tell me about your thoughts about this convention weekend.
So we lost.
So you guys played Florida, right?
Yeah, we played Florida. I think it was like 29-16 or 23-13, something. It was a 2-score game.
So they got their revenge from the championship game.
Yeah. And, Mighty outsmarted me with what he came out with on defense, which is not a surprise. So that was the downside of the convention was losing the game at the convention.
Right.
But honestly, that doesn't put a damper on anything that weekend. It was a great time, getting to meet everybody. Chad kind of said it. We live 20 minutes apart, and it took us a trip to Texas, to meet for the first time and hang out. Johnny's only 3 hours away in Chicago, and got to meet him and have him change my opinion on him a little bit while we were down there. So
that's good to hear.
I think overall, the convention was a success, and my only interesting story is, man, those Vegas guys Friday night were, I think they were drinking away their tears a little bit. They may have offered their coaching job out to several people at the convention, including myself.
So, go ahead.
No, I mean, they were recruiting very hard for me to join the other side of Vice Wars, which will never happen, and I explained that to them. And apparently, I still have a standing offer from Tony. So,
really, how much was Tony inebriated when he said that?
They were inebriated when they first offered it. They were somewhat sober when they said it still stood. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, the only other thing I want to add is just, Dave, our thoughts and prayers are out to you. What we're going to do in Denver this week is we're at home, so we're going to wear our all blacks as kind of a way.
Oh, man, I appreciate that. That's a nice...
kind of show our support to everything you're going through. It's the least that we can do. So we're going to do that in your sister-in-law's honor.
I truly appreciate that, bro. That's that got me right there. I appreciate that. Thank you, Adam. Hey, is Yogi good to go yet, or is he having sound issues still? Yogi, are you with us or no? No, and I think Tyler's trying to help him. So let me move on to someone else while we wait for them. Let's go to Johnny, because you know what? I have a feeling Johnny might have a couple funny stories to talk about. By the way, Dwayne, you said you've got the Mike Irvine story. If Cam doesn't want to tell it, I'll leave it up to Cam. If he doesn't, then you go ahead and jump in and you can tell it. But in the meantime, Johnny, welcome back to the show, bro. Glad you made it home safe and sound. Kind of a far drive for you and Chad back and forth. Glad you guys made it, but tell me about your impressions of your very first SFL convention.
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you now.
Awesome. Well, yeah. First off, like everyone else is saying, man, it feels good to hear that diva voice of yours. I tried to be. I told you I tried to be like enough diva for the both of us in your absence while I was down there. In your honor, of course.
Of course.
But yeah, man, it was a great time, and I can't give credit enough to the commish and all the guys. I saw his henchmen out there, putting doing the setups, and getting the banners up, and everyone that laid a hand to help make that happen, because I didn't do anything, So anyone else that contributed to making that a great time, but it starts from the top. I want to thank Cam for everything he did. He made it an awesome weekend for all of us. Mike St. Green's house, and him and his wife, and the way, damn, can they host a party. It was a great time. Yeah, I really don't think, man, that it could have gone any better for me personally. I had a blast. It was over, too soon, in my opinion. Great times fly by. But, yeah, I rode down with Chad, and we got to bond together. That was a good time. I think every morning, I definitely, caulked back a few drinks every night, and every morning I think I asked, like, the first thing I said to Chad when I woke up was, "Are you still my friend?" and then he'd be like, "Yeah, man, I'm still your friend." And I'm like, "All right, then we're good. Let's start over again." Like let's get the next day going, because I don't know what happened. Because I'm not sure how the night ended.
Well, I'm assuming that you made it through the whole weekend with him as still friends since he drove you home.
Yes,
right.
Yeah. On the road home, he thought about booting me out. When he could have made that right turn to Indy.
Yeah.
But But yeah, no, it was a good time. But yeah, I'd say the highlights for me were for like everybody else does, being able to watch the game and bond with your teammates. I mean, my London boys was amazing. Mike St. Green, Rain Rhea, Big Butch Menor. I mean, dude's a real offensive lineman, and he was like my bodyguard all weekend. And I mean, we all shared a great time. And then just meeting everybody else, the Lone Star guys, man, your teammates are awesome. I already knew they were awesome, but meeting Yogi in person and Lacey, all the Lone Star guys, Charles. I mean, such fun to meet those guys. The Harish brothers, we had some fun laughs and conversations considering our little rivalry and, the shit we've given each other in the past. And we broke that down, and we had some laughs and some drinks together. Spend time with Wiseman, with John Bond and A-Star, Mike All and his wife, they're amazing. All the Toros, even before and after our game, they were not sore losers. They were quick to buy us our drinks, after the bet, and then continue to have great conversations with Hacker and Nacho and all the guys, of Fort Worth. So, but yeah, man, overall it was a great time. I definitely liked, I definitely had some drinks out there. Like I said, I think that my top 3 drinks out there were, one was the Champ, homemade, the Smokin' Champ by MSG, aka, it's also called the JUK MSG Connection. We kind of renamed it throughout the process of the night. It was a great homemade cocktail that the MSG had. The SimPod guys, I'm sure a lot of people will touch on them. They were hysterical, and they lived by the bar. Besides whenever they left to go to the strip club, they lived by the bar, and they introduced me to the pina colada at the poolside bar with a nice floater of extra rum on top. Had myself a decent helping of margaritas as well. I did tell the bartender to hold the salt. There was enough salt pouring off the Louisiana table throughout the weekend. But yeah, man, no, great time, bro. I had a time.
Oh my God, you always got something. Hey, real quick, I want to say we were trying to get Yogi. Yogi's here, but Yogi's driving still. We were trying to get him on, I think, on his Bluetooth on his truck. Winkler and Tyler were trying to help him out. It didn't work out, so I do want to say this, though. I was going to thank him right now when he came on, but I want everybody to know Yogi went out of his way the week before the convention to meet me halfway. It's about 3 hours each way, so 6 hours round trip. He drove to pick up the beer and the koozies and the sleeves and all the stuff that I sent to the convention. So huge shout out, big props to Yogi for going out of his way to come and get that stuff. I mean, that's drive 6 hours out of your way like that is a big deal. And I'm very thankful that he did that so he could get all of that to you at the convention. So, Yogi, thank you again, bro. I know I already told you in person and we texted about it, but I just want to publicly thank you as well. There is another Lone Star teammate of mine in the let me see if he's here. Is that, oh yeah, there he is. Okay, in the chat, and that is my man Evan Lacey, who I believe also lives in Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Evan, how far away were you from the convention? And tell me your thoughts and feelings about your first SFL convention as well. Oh, Evan, you're muted, bro. Oh, we got her muted, bro. What's up? I mean, no, like you're really muted, bro. Oh, there you go.
Hey, sorry about that. I'm on a new computer and it keeps dropping for some reason.
No worries at all. No worries at all. So, hey, how far away were you from the convention? And tell us about your experience this weekend.
Well, I'm from about 4 hours away, but my sister lives 20 minutes away. So I was able to drive down Thursday morning, stay with her a night, and then go to the convention Friday through Sunday, and then stay another night with her on Monday before driving back. So we had a great time. I mean, we made it into a family event all around my SFL family as well as my biological family. And can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfect, bro.
Okay. And but I do want to start off by saying, the Lacey family give you and Lisa and your family our condolences and our prayers. We're so
thank you,
sad for your loss.
Thank you, bro.
But this past weekend was such a blast. I mean, I knew that this community was the best, and even before going to this convention, and this past weekend just solidified that. I mean, there's so many great people that I was able to meet, from My Lone Star teammates, Charles, Yogi, Gunny, but also other folks in the league, Eddie Gage, Chad Rowland, Johnny Pinkler, Rain. The list can go on and on. I can go all night talking about how great everybody was. We had we had a lot of fun. Some nights a little bit too much fun. Just as like Bovine, I had a little bit too much to drink, and I crashed a wedding party, and was also escorted out. So.
Oh, you did that as well? I only heard about the Bovine story. I didn't hear about your story. Same wedding?
Yeah, I did it as well. And, but it was I wasn't able to stay very long before being tapped on the shoulder by a security guard.
Well, hey, at least they didn't drag you off the property or something.
No. And the funny thing was, the security guard, he said, "Yeah, this is a private party, and they said they saw you at the pool." I'm like, okay, what does that mean? I didn't do anything crazy at the pool, so I don't know. But it was fun times. And I'm happy that my wife and my sister and her friend were able to experience it with me as well.
That's awesome, bro. I'm glad to hear those stories. I'm glad you got to experience that. I want to move on to my boy Tyler here. Tyler, I'm sure you've got some stories. I heard you had a little car trouble, but I guess I didn't last too long. You were able to make it back to the convention or something. Give us your impressions of this weekend at the convention.
Yeah, Dave, first of all, I'm going to echo everyone before me and everyone in chat and everything. But, Dave, it is so good to have you back. It is so good to have you back on the air with everybody. And, again, I know I've sent my personal condolences, but honestly, Dave, cancer is so tough. And I feel for you, Lisa, your family. And my hearts and prayers go out to you and your family for Laura. And I don't know what to say beyond that.
I appreciate. No, I listen. I appreciate it, bro. I do, and I know I understand too. I mean, what do you say to people in those situations? I've been on the other end too, so I totally get it. But thank you for your message as well the other day.
Thank you, Dave. And the convention was awesome. My first ever convention. Look Alive. That's Michael Torillo. My goodness, right back at you, Michael. That was a phenomenal first game of the convention.
Right there? Who's that on the ground?
That was Aaron Alexander.
Okay,
that was Aaron Alexander.
Does anybody know what happened there? Why was he on the ground?
London won, and I think he missed a field. Their kicker missed a field goal that they should have made.
Oh, okay, yeah. Gotcha. All right, go ahead, Tyler. Sorry.
But yeah, getting a chance to call a game with Michael Trill, that was phenomenal. Getting a chance to meet up with all my new Louisiana teammates, getting to now see the photo of Mr. Two Scoops, Curtis, over there. Getting a chance to talk to the two-time Rich Pratchett Broadcaster of the Year, Tim Hackett, bounce off ideas after him, and give him the utmost respect that he deserves because of the quality of broadcasting that he performs day in, day out for the SFL and beyond. And just being able to meet everybody. There's so many people out there, like you mentioned, Dave, not just in the chat tonight, but everywhere else. Bryant Dynasty, Talon Steele showed up. A bunch of guys from Louisiana showed up. That's Ross, Gerald, Mike. And again, you mentioned I had a little bit of car trouble. My car had to be jumped, and huge shout outs to Chad and Johnny, both here in chat. Johnny, I wasn't able to ping you in the 21 convention chat, but honestly, thank you, gentlemen. That was definitely a lifesaver. At least get my car jumped so I could go over to AutoZone and get that fixed. My car's good. Drove back to San Antonio, and I'm back in San Antonio, so that's good. But honestly, there's too many people to mention. So many fantastic stories. So many fantastic people to meet. I don't know what's better than meeting Gunny in person. And there's two different sides to the coin there, Dave. When I originally came in to the convention, me and Michael Torillo were headed down the elevator to help out Cam set up for the Friday evening festivities. And up comes Doug Day and Coach Craven. And Doug Day's first ever sentence I've heard him speak to me in person is, "You're a little taller than I thought." That's all right. And then likewise, you walk up to Gunny, and just like everyone's expecting, the wisest man of the SFL, right? And you're expecting him to be this big, macho, big
voice,
Marine,
big voice.
and Gunny is the most humblest man you will ever meet in your life.
Yeah.
And to be honest, he's not only the wisest man, but the humblest man in the SFL. And Gunny, my goodness, is one of the crown jewels in the SFL crown. So my goodness, so many people to meet, so many people to say hello to and get to know, and it's so much different getting to meet someone in person rather than in text, and you get to see how people react to what you say. And I have nothing but anticipation and joy and just longing for the next convention.
That's awesome to hear. Yeah, you're not the first person to tell me. I've heard from several people already that one of their highlights was meeting Gunny and how humble he is and how nice he is and what just a great guy he is. Excuse me. Gunny's gotten a lot of big props that I've heard about from the convention as well. Thank you, Tyler, bro. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Dave.
Before I go back to the commish to get the story on bovine, Eddie Gage has jumped in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. And Eddie, I want to find out the story about you sleeping on this table, bro. What's up with that? You just didn't have the stamina, or what was going on there?
What's going on, Dave?
What's up, bro?
First of all, man, glad to hear your voice, man. And I can relate. I got like 4 members of my family who suffered that same fate, so I can relate.
I appreciate it, man.
But yeah, man, had a good time. But first of all, dude, I was very fatigued because I had just started a new job, and they were trying to squeeze my first 5 days into 3 since they did allow me to leave for my vacation I had with my prior job. So I was already on fumes when I got there, and then at like 0:30 in the morning, Mark calls my cell phone to me to wake up, let's go eat breakfast. And I was knocked out because I'm still used to Arizona time. They were 2 hours ahead of me. So I was running on fumes when I got there, and I never even caught up, honestly, because there was always something going on.
Are you there? I lost you.
I'm here.
Okay, there you go. Okay, so what day was that you fell asleep on the table?
I think that was Wednesday or Thursday. No, I think that was Saturday, I think.
Saturday? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I think Hugo gave you -9 value stamina, progressive stamina in the chat right now, bro. Hey, what was your favorite part of this weekend?
Honestly, just meeting everybody, man. Again, the last convention we had was like, I think about 50 people. And like Cam said earlier, it's supposed to be like 100-something people, but because of all the fights and stuff getting delayed and canceled, a lot of people didn't make it out. One of the fun times I had was, I believe it was the Louisiana. Who were they playing? I forget. Louisiana was playing
Vancouver, I think.
Vancouver, and at one point, the game was going back and forth in a shootout, and they started. I think Louisiana scored a touchdown, and they started all screaming, "Tommy Utah," and then Vancouver was scoring. And they would kind of go back and forth with that with their own chat. And just meeting everybody, man. I met Yogi, and he was so freaking cool. I almost cursed. He was so damn cool, man. And he reminded me when I first got my team, he wanted to sign with us. And he said, man, he just wanted to sign with us the whole time. And but he missed a progression because he was out in the mountains with no signal. So, I said, hey, man, you missed a progression. And he swears that I told him, hey, man, we're going in a different direction. I'm sorry. It's just no excuses around here. I don't remember saying that, but he just kept saying it. Every time he saw me all weekend, he would just give me that look like, bro, I want to be a Scorpion, man. You turned me down. But just meeting him, and like everyone else said, Gunny was really cool, man. Meeting your teammate, Evan Lacey and all them, man, it was an honor. I almost saluted that brother, man. It was just so cool to meet people. And then seeing Bovine drunk as hell during his Hall of Fame ceremony, that was just classic, right? That was one of the top parts of the weekend.
Yeah,
honestly.
I'm gonna get the details from Cam here in a moment on that one, but keep going.
Yeah, I mean, just the whole experience, man. I wish, man, it could have been longer. It's like the days just flew by, man. Next thing I knew, I was coming home. But just that whole experience, man. Seeing everybody, I want to thank Cam and everybody else who was involved in putting that whole thing together because it just I thought the one I went to in Georgia was nice, but this one was even better.
That's cool. Then the resort looked amazing, by the way.
It was, and then Mike St. Green put on a hell of a party, man, to get everybody together, man. I mean, come on, bro. Matter of fact, I meant to Venmo that guy some money, man, because we all went in there and he fed like I don't know how many people had all that alcohol up in there. He was ready to go, man. I don't know how much that cost, but it couldn't have been cheap.
No, it looks like I missed out on that part for sure. It looked like, as a matter of fact, there's a couple pics that just popped up about that. All right,
Yeah.
Eddie, thank you, bro. Stick around for a few minutes, man.
You got it, bro.
All right. I don't know. Is Yogi good to go, Tyler? Or is he just listening?
I'm good to go.
Look at Yogi. Yogi, I got to tell you, bro. And I'm sorry, I'm going to go to Hacker next, and then I'm going to wrap up with Cam on this portion. But Yogi, bro, I can't thank you enough for meeting me in, what do we meet? Greensboro, North Carolina, or wherever the hell we were. Just to pick all that stuff up for me to take out to the convention, bro. Tell me about the weekend. Tell me about the drive out there, the drive back, and the weekend there.
Smooth drive out there. The week there was great, but I want to start by saying it's great hearing you back home. Sorry that you've had to go through this.
Yogi, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
There you go. Now I can. You want to start by saying what?
Yeah, I'm great to hear you back on the air. I love the show. I'm glad you're back, and I'm sorry for what you had to go through this week. Condolences to your family, to Lisa, to her family.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, man.
Not a problem. But other than that, drive out there was piece of cake. Enjoyed it. I like driving anyway. Loaded up with beer and koozies, gifts for people. Yeah, I enjoyed it. But no one will believe it because we didn't ever take a picture when we were in Greensboro.
I know. I cannot believe we forgot to take a picture. You, me, and Robo. We were there for what, an hour and a half, had breakfast, a whole 9 yards, didn't even think about taking a picture. Unbelievable.
No doubt. But it was great meeting everybody, putting faces to keyboards and faces to names. Everybody in this league is unbelievably great. And like everybody else said, Gunny is the best man in SFL. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he is something else, man. He is something else. Yogi, thanks for coming on, bro. I appreciate it, man.
No problem, man. Enjoyed it.
You got it. Speaking of Gunny, we're going to go to Gunny in just a couple minutes because he's got some pearls of wisdom tonight. But before we do, I'm going to go to Hacker, and then I'm going to wrap up with the commish before we get to Gunny. Hacker, thanks for jumping on, bro. Appreciate you coming on tonight. Tell me about, I know this isn't your first convention, but tell me how this one stacked up to other ones you may have gone to, and give me your high points for the weekend.
This actually was my first convention. I went to, when it was in Dallas, I met some people after or kind of around the convention, but didn't actually go. I had some stuff come up in with my family and prevented me from going. But first I wanted to say that, glad to have you back, all that good stuff, and you, respect and all that good stuff, man. Appreciate it. But want to get to the fun parts, the convention, again, everybody here pretty much hit, the nail on the head. I don't think I met one person that I didn't have a laugh and a smile with and walk away feeling like I had a better understanding of who they were. So it was a really great experience to finally, get that face, and so it's a big part for me on how I relate to people. And one of my favorite moments of the convention was the Sunday auction, the silent auction. Cam put up a couple of flags from the SFL, and one of them went, and I won't throw out any numbers, but one of them went, and so it kind of set a standard pretty high. And the second bid was getting pretty tight, and Thomasina Ramen had already won a couple of items in the auction. And it was over there, talking to her dad about how much she could bid, and he gave her a number, and I guess she misheard that number and overshot it by quite a margin, and ended up almost winning that bid. But the sweat on Tom Ramen's face was worth every bit of it. I mean, even though they didn't have to pay,
he was super relieved for sure.
Oh my gosh, dude! When they were on top winning, he was sweating bullets, and it was so great to be the third party to that. It was wonderful.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's I almost kind of wish she had won just so I'd know what the price was. Hey, who won that? Do we know who won that bid?
I actually think he actually wanted to remain anonymous because if his spouse found out, she would kill him.
Hey, Curtis put in there. He says he thinks it was like $160, and of course,
Okay.
of course, Ramen says it's 169. But hey,
Oh yeah, you know what? That's exactly what it was. 169, and everyone's like, nice.
Oh, and then Eddie Gage just said somebody spent 170 to win it.
See, we got another
that's
silent
what it
auction
was.
going right now. The price is just going to go up and up as long as we let people bid on it.
That's amazing. Oh man, that's awesome. Hacker, thanks for coming on, bro.
Everybody throwing Corey under the bus.
Everyone, Thomasina bid up 31.69. Oh, that's it. Come on, now somebody's paying 172. Damn, I should have thrown an auction on here tonight. Look at Nate Hall, big bucks, $200. All right, hey Hacker, thanks for coming on, bro.
Absolutely.
All right, Cam, we're doing full circle back to you. I cannot end this convention segment without hearing about your dad's Hall of Fame speech and wedding crashing experience. So if you have the details on that, we would love to hear them.
Yeah, first I got to ask Van, was that Saturday night that you crashed the wedding or Friday night?
That was Saturday night.
I thought so. Was it during the second half of the Lone Star game? Because you weren't there.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Oh,
What?
no. It was after that. I wasn't available for the second half because my family was in the pool and I kind of got caught up.
Okay.
Way to go, Commish,
All right.
throwing Van under the bus.
Hey, I thought as Lone Star was winning, he was winning too. So I just had to see what was going on.
He probably thought we had that game in the bag. I mean, we blew him out by so much in overtime, I guess. So.
Oh right, yeah, you blew him out. You just took advantage of the Harish convention curse.
Well, yeah.
That's all y'all
dude,
did.
as soon as you said we were playing Carolina, I was like, yes.
Bro, he was inconsolable.
Oh, I can't even imagine, bro. I can't even imagine.
Here's a great story that most people don't know. So Cirillo came up to me when the game went to overtime, and he said, "Cam, look," and he showed me his hand, and he was like really shaking, and a couple of people around were like, "Dude, you need to like sit down, drink some water," like he was really into the game. And Harish was right next to him, and I leaned over to Cirillo and I said, "Mike, I want to hurt you," right? The quote from the documentary from so long ago, right? And right after that, Harish fumbled the kickoff to start overtime, and Harish turned around and looked at me, and I just slowly backed away.
All right,
and I think I mouthed like, "I'm so sorry" or something like that. But
Put the shovel down.
So big Lone Star props and thanks to the commish.
So we were trying to coordinate what we were going to do for dinner on Friday. This goes back to the bovine story, and we had decided we were going to go up to the steakhouse up there. I told my dad, "Hey, I got to pack up this room, and I got to get this stuff up to the room. Once I'm there, I'll see you there." So we get everything all packed up, and we start to leave the event space where we were at for Hall of Fame. And here's my dad coming towards me by the pool. This is, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes later. And I said, "What are you doing down here?" And he said, "We got kicked out." And I said, "Of what?" And he said, "The steakhouse. The steakhouse kicked us out." And I said, "What do you mean they kicked us out?" And he said, "Well, they got a big wedding up there, and they had the room reserved, and I couldn't be in there, and they kicked us out." And I said, "All right, well, go to the lobby, I guess. I'm about to put this stuff in the room. I'll meet you down at the lobby, and we'll figure out what we're going to do." And he said, "Okay." So he stumbles off, and I think he may have signed his autograph on some women along the way. I don't know, but so we get the stuff up to the room. And I come down to the lobby, and so I'm sitting on my phone. I'm thinking, okay, who am I going to call? Because there was a number of people that were going to be a part of the steakhouse dinner. And so I decided, I'm going to call Dwayne and just figure out what's going on. So as I'm calling Dwayne, by the way, my dad is like breathing hard behind me. I don't know why he was so close to me, but he needed to step off. So I called Dwayne and I said, "Hey, Dwayne, what's plan B?" And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, where are we going to eat? He said, we're in the steakhouse. And I said, what? You're in the steakhouse? And he said, yeah, where are you? And I said, you got kicked out of the steakhouse. He said, no, I didn't. We're all here eating. Or getting ready to eat, I guess. And I said, okay, I guess we'll see you there. So I get off the phone and I look at my dad now. I'm like, okay, I'm connecting the dots here. You're pissing me off. So I said to him, they're in the steakhouse right now. And he goes, no. And I said, yes, they are. I just talked to him. I said, we're going. And he's like, okay. So we start walking to the steakhouse. And as we are walking to the steakhouse, we pass the ballroom where it wasn't the actual wedding. It was kind of like a pre-wedding party, right? Because this was Friday. Whatever van crashed was like the real thing. They were probably like kissing the bride and stuff, and he was like all over the stage. So
No,
I can't
Cam.
confirm that. So we passed by that ballroom, and he throws out his arms like trying to get me to understand, and he points to the ballroom and he says, there, they kicked me out.
Oh my God.
And I said, what are you talking about? He said, the steakhouse. And I said, Dad, that's not the steakhouse. And he says, yes, it is. I said, no, it's not the steakhouse. It's a wedding thing. And he goes, well, that's where I got kicked out of. And I said, you went in there. And he said, yeah, I went in there and I got a plate of food and this big Indian guy attacked me and kicked me out. And I said, that's not the steakhouse. You went to the wrong place. And he goes, no, I didn't. And I'm like, okay, screw you, man. This is ridiculous. So I dragged him to the steakhouse, and we sat down at the steakhouse, and because they were already seated, we just kind of took the ends. So I was on one end, and he was on the other, all the way on the other side of the table. So I'm looking at the menu, and it must have been more than 5 minutes. And Craven or Doug or somebody says, hey, Cam, your dad just left. And I looked up, and he's walking back to that wedding thing.
Oh, my God.
And I'm just like, this guy, are you kidding me, right? All I want to do is eat. I've been working all day, and this Hall of Famer, who, by the way, made me wait for him to get more drinks for him and other people while I was trying to get him inducted, is now wandering off to this steakhouse that he was just in to go do whatever. So I went out to look for him, and I couldn't find him. And he wasn't in that other place, so I didn't know where he was. So now I'm just wondering how many other weddings there are in this hotel. So I called him. Michael and his wife almost started the search party. I said, no, it's not that important. And he told me that he decided that he just didn't want to eat there, and he was going to sleep. And when I got back, to wake him up and tell him where the party was, so that he could go out wherever it was. I did not do that because he had had enough. So that was the end of his night. And then in the morning, he proceeded to tell me how it was his choice to lay diagonally on the bed with all his clothes on and snuggled up to a pillow with his head hanging off the bed. And how that somehow was his choice, and because he had quote, a couple of extra drinks, he just needed to lie down, which is just not what happened. So
I think we all say the same thing in that situation, don't we?
That's right. Yes. So
We're just resting our eyes.
Yeah. So he had himself a night. Saturday was a little tough on him in the morning. But he freshened up. Me and him had a nice dinner, just him and I, in between games before the Lone Star game. Just had kind of a good time, and it was really funny. I mean, he's a legend for that and everything that happened before that. Walking in, I was in the part of my script where I said, speaking of Hall of Famers, and he walks in the door, and everybody cheered for him, and he thought it was his turn. It was not his turn. I hadn't even started inducting anybody yet, but he was already at that point where he thought it was, he was ready to go.
He did not care. It was his turn, buddy.
Yes. So yeah.
Just for the record, Van went in the lounge and grabbed a pillow and walked up to the wedding and said he was the ring bearer.
Is that true, Van?
No, that is not true at all. That is not true at all.
Yogi on here starting rumors, man.
It would have been a lot cooler if it was.
Yeah, it would be. You know what? I'm gonna go. I actually believe Yogi on this one. I think we're gonna roll with that.
No confirmation needed. I like it.
No confirmation needed. Exactly. Oh my God, that's amazing. Well, Cam, it sounds like, I mean, from everything I've heard, from everyone I've heard, it was a raging success. Minus things you couldn't control, like, the flights getting canceled, people not being able to show, what have you. But from everybody I haven't heard one negative thing from one person, and I've talked to a lot of people so far. So congrats on pulling off just an amazing convention.
Thank you. I had one more thing to add about Pickler that I thought was very funny.
Oh, go ahead.
I had some great moments with Johnny this weekend too. Some very memorable moments, and the first one was him. Well, he was going around on Thursday at St. Green's party, and I was trying to figure out what exactly he was trying to do, but I think I've come to the conclusion that he was just trying to phrase every question he asked to every person, a question in a way that the answer would be Johnny Pickler. I think he just seemed to want everyone to say his name, and so he was. So I think that's what the angle was. So he went up to Potty, the DC kicker, part of the SimPod guys, and he asked him who was most responsible for Potty being in the league, and you could tell he's very eager to hear Potty say Johnny Pickler. And I don't think Potty, I'm not quite sure he knew who this person was. It was very early in the convention. Potty is very stoic and doesn't have a lot of expression, so he really didn't know how to answer the question. So he said Lord Destro, which is DC's owner.
Right.
And Pickler didn't move. I think he seemed to feel like that was an incorrect answer, but he didn't know how to respond. And I put a finger in Johnny's chest and I said, "Bro, he just sold you down the river." And it was just one of the funniest moments, because I know that Johnny was having a good time, and a little. He even passed the phone to me to try to get him to save him from being found out that he was a little too far gone too. So I tried to help him out with that as well. But yeah, that was really funny, just because he didn't get the response he was looking for, and it was priceless for me to just see the expression on his face.
That is awesome. That sounds priceless.
And then the second one was Johnny and I were sitting together, kind of in a group outside, just having a good time. And of course, I don't drink, and I was able to kind of twist the knife all night into people and just be silly with them and kind of kick back. And Johnny said to me, "How is it that you sound buzzed, but you haven't had a single drink?" And my response was, "Because Johnny, every time you hear me, it's not me just being me. It's having to be like the leader or the boss or something. So I actually sound buzzed, but I'm actually just being normal." So it was so out of character for me that apparently I sounded like I had been drinking with how outrageous I was being. Yes. So yeah, that was a really fun moment for me too, because it gave me a chance to just chill with everybody, and it was a reminder to me. It was a reminder to me how serious I always have to be, and how good it was that I wasn't having to do that in that moment. So, yeah, fun stuff. Thanks to everybody that came. We ended up with 83. We should have had more, like I was saying earlier. Logistically, between health stuff and flight stuff, it kind of cramped our style there at the end. But I mean, our capacity in some of those rooms wouldn't have been able to handle more anyway. So it was a packed house no matter what, and we wish that everybody that wanted to come could have come, but we had fun anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I'm sorry I missed it, but I'm planning on being at the next one, as I'm sure many people in the chat are saying that they want to be at the next one as well. So, any leads yet? Last quick question, and then I'm going to move on to Gunny. Any leads on where the next one's going to be yet?
I floated Nashville and Ohio for 2022 and Vegas for 2023. Just when I was talking to some people at the convention, just trying to get a more easternly or Midwest connection, for next year, and then with Vegas, because it's a predominantly destination convention kind of thing, because it's really hard to drive there. I'd like to be able to announce kind of both at the same time, so that people can plan in the future for vacation days. And hey, I'm flying to Vegas and all the. Obviously, you can't book all those tickets and do all those things at that time, but at least to put it on people's radar. I won't start prepping or planning or doing anything for another convention for many months, 3, 4, 5 months, because it's so exhausting. But it started, just kind of initial talks, and I'm sure everyone will blow me up for the next week talking about how we should do it here or whatever. But no matter what, we're really trying to kind of hone in on exactly how we take the best of all the formats of all the different conventions we've had, and just it's all about location, right? I mean, get a resort and an entertainment center next to an airport in any city, and you got yourself a deal, right? So we'll see how it goes, but it was a really fun time.
That's awesome to hear. Cam, thank you. Gunny, are you with me? Can you hear me?
I'm good to go.
All right. Hey, before we do your Pearls of Wisdom, I want to hear from you what your highlights were of the convention. Unless that's going to spoil your Pearls of Wisdom.
Oh, no, I'm going to do the Pearls of Wisdom at the very end of this, so you'll be good.
Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely, to meet my own teammates, Charles, Evan, Yogi. It's just great to meet them in person. Love them. The camaraderie we share with the Carolina players, Harish, his brother. I have a car ride. I got to sit in the middle of them in the Mike All Ironman mobile on the way to dinner. I mean, those are some great guys. Love the heck out of both of those guys. So great to meet so many people. I had to go to Houston, Texas to meet the queen of the SFL, Ashley Jackson, and my hometown Atlanta Swarm coach, Mark Chisholm. Love to meet those guys. I always wanted to meet them. Met Eddie Gage. So many people to know. Mike Twin Screw. The first person I remember greeting me in the hallway on my way coming in from the checking in, I heard Doug yell, "Gunny!" Him and Coach Craven. So many people. I had a great time meeting everyone. And so many people would come up to me and would reach out to me and just ask, hey, let Doug know we're all thinking about him. So that was pretty touching. So I had some great conversations with Hacker and Nacho coming to touch, reaching out to me. It's quite a fun rivalry with Fort Worth and Lone Star being so close together.
Right.
Dave, we missed the hell out of you. You're my brother in the SFL. You're my brother in the Marine Corps. We're thinking about you, about your sister-in-law. I hope that maybe this can happen for this week and the rest of the season. Then maybe we can change one of our generic names and on your sister-in-law, put her name on the jersey, and at the end of the season, retire that jersey and on our sister-in-law.
That would be amazing. I appreciate that, Gunny. I really do. Are you ready for your Pearls of Wisdom?
That was the Pearls of Wisdom.
It was all one thing. I never played your music.
That's okay. Cam did it for me the other day. It was good to go. I appreciate everything. that Cam did and everyone that did to get the convention together.
Gotcha. I'm
But yeah,
sorry, bro.
my pearls of wisdom is to honor your sister-in-law is a Lone Star Glory in heaven, and I'd like to honor her with a jersey. I hope we can get her a player name for the rest of the season and retire her jersey at the end of the year.
Thank you, bro. I
So
appreciate it.
she will always be Lone Star.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Gunny. Sorry I messed up your music, bro.
No problem. I didn't tell you.
It's okay. It's okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
My two best guys for my season 14 non-contracts, Mike St. Green and Bryant Dynasty. And I had a hell of a good time. He's 13 years old, but Jeffrey Daggs, what a good dude.
Oh, yeah.
I like that guy.
I heard everybody loved that kid. I heard a lot of good things about him. It was really good. Yep, Hacker. You're not the first person I heard that said that he's the best Dags. That's hilarious. All right, Gunny, thank you.
He's awesome. Hey, thank you, Dave.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, everybody. That's most of the show. Now we get to the hard stuff. I wanted to invite Lisa on. I did want to pay tribute to my late sister-in-law. As many of you probably know and read, 28 months ago, she was diagnosed with glioblastoma, which is very serious, stage 4 brain cancer. She was just on a run, as you can see from some of these pictures. She was very healthy, very in shape, very adventurous, and she was just on a run with her daughter one day. And they got done, and they were post-stretching, and she's like, "Do you smell smoke?" And she's like, and her daughter's like, "No." She's like, "You sure? Because I smell smoke." And it turns out that, if you do your research later, we find out that that's one of the symptoms. You smell smoke when you're about to have kind of almost like a brain aneurysm, if you will. And they took her to the doctor, and right in the urgent care, she was getting ready to sign in. She collapsed, and they had to resuscitate her. She almost died right there. They said if she had waited even a few more minutes, she would have died right then and there 28 months ago in March of 2019. She was in a coma for about a week, and when she came out, they told her that she had that stage 4 cancer, and she was going to have 3 to 6 months to live, potentially 18 months with a miracle and some experimental treatment. She got accepted to a study out at UCLA, and they it seemed like it worked, and it was holding the tumor down for a while, and then they found a second tumor, and then at that point they did some more treatments, and it didn't help. But she made it 27 months before she started going downhill. She went really downhill, or went downhill really fast this last 30 days or so. Just at the beginning of July, a couple days after my last show, she was in Northern California at a winery enjoying herself, and and now she's gone. So she was an incredible person, but I wanted to bring Lisa on tonight to talk about what an incredible person she was. Her and Lisa were close already, but they got extremely close over the last couple of years while Lara was fighting this terrible disease. So first of all, sweetie, baby doll, thanks for coming on the show. I know this is going to be tough, but thanks for coming on.
You're welcome. And of course, you leave it to me to talk about how special she was. That's not going to be hard.
I know, but I figured you were one of the people who knew her the best. So, I just wanted you to tell people, who she was, what she was like. Give her a little tribute tonight before we sign off.
Lara was. It sounds so cheesy and so cliche, but she was a woman that you could just look up to. She was that woman that had always seemed to have it together. She raised 3 girls. Darren was a pastor for many, many years, and she homeschooled the 3 girls all the way up until high school. She taught them 3 languages. They all spoke multiple languages. They just were the most humble, kind-hearted, amazing young women. And that was all attributed to Lara's mothering and her, just her personality and her ability to approach life with grace and humor and kindness. And I don't know that I've ever met another woman that had that much grace and humility. She was a joy to be around. And I will miss her so very much.
Sorry, baby. Thanks for. I know this was tough.
I just, I do want to say thank you to all of the SFL community. Dave's been sharing all of your messages with me, and it really is wonderful to feel an outpouring of love from the community. We thank you so much for all of your thoughts and your prayers and your words of kindness and support. And I know it means a lot to David, and you guys being excited to have him come back and just to support him in the way that you do, and by extension me, means a lot to both of us. So thank you all so much.
Absolutely. I echo those sentiments from Lisa. Like I said at the beginning of the show, the outreach from you guys has been overwhelming, and like I said yesterday, in a good way. It is. I just couldn't believe how many. I mean, I had people that I didn't even know, people I never even had DMs with before. You get that message at the beginning of a DM that says your legendary conversation with so and so begins now. I got countless amount of those. It's amazing how over the last year and a half or so, some roller coaster rides we've had in this league, some differences we've had, and none of it matters. And I said on Ashley's show about a month ago that I had hoped that the convention would be a time of healing for people who hadn't been getting along and didn't really know each other, because you only knew the person on the DM or the person in the chat or whatever. But when you meet a person face to face, it's a completely different experience, and you get to learn who that person is. You get to know, when you look a person in the eye, you get to see more of their heart, more of their soul, and see who they really are. And I was hoping that that's what would happen at the convention, and it certainly happened for me here this last week or so. So I just want to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for reaching out to our family during this terrible time. Lise, did you want to say anything else, sweetie, before I move on?
No, I'm good. Thank you, though.
All right. Thanks, baby. Thanks. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight. Thank you for reaching out. Thank you for being excited about me coming back on the air. With that segue, I do want to say a couple quick things. I asked for help before, and I did have a few people reach out to me, and I'm going to be contacting them. But here's my plan. This is a one-off show right now, okay? We leave tomorrow evening. We're going to drive cross country. Hey, if you live in St. Louis or Kansas City, DM me. Maybe we can have lunch or something. We're going to be driving out to Colorado and for the funeral, and then driving back, of course. I guess we got to drive back. But hey, if you live along that stretch of whatever highway that is that connects St. Louis and Kansas City all the way out to Colorado, DM me. Maybe we can have lunch or something. But my plan, if I can get the help that I need to pull this off, is I want to pick the show back up the Tuesday after week 6. So I think it's either the last Tuesday of August or the first Tuesday of September. What we'll do is we'll kick things off with a mid-season review. We'll talk about week 6. We'll talk about and then we'll go into week 7 on that Thursday. My hope is to get back to the tees, right? To Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, see you at the tees, all that good stuff. So if you are able to help with some graphics, or if you know OBS well, you don't even have to produce it. If you have the time to maybe just load it, help me load it. Whatever saves me time in prep gives me more time to do the show. So I appreciate everybody reaching out. So if you're interested in this, please let me know. With that being said, that was week 3, so we got week 4 coming up. So that only gives us a few weeks to kind of get it together. By the time I get back, we'll be ready for week 5. By the time I get back from Colorado, so we've only got a few weeks to get it going if we're going to do it. So, thank you again for everybody for tuning in tonight. Thank you for all the amazing messages, all the love that I've gotten. DMs and posts and chats and even text messages and even a couple emails. It's been amazing. And Lisa and I thank you from the bottom of our hearts. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight to the convention special, if you will, and for the tribute for my late sister-in-law. So that being said, you guys have a glorious evening. Have a glorious week 4. And hopefully in a few weeks, I'll see you at the Tees.